Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another tier list for you. I'm going to be building a list of bowling balls for the Open Championships. If you don't know what that is, it is a national tournament run by the USBC. We're going to go over the categories first. We have balls for the fresh, balls for the transition, the burn. Dark horse balls are going to be balls that, not really sure where they fit in that fresh transition burn list. So we might throw them in the dark horse, or just balls that I think are going to be kind of sneaky good. And at the bottom, the must bring bowling ball. Stay tuned to find out what that is. As always, these tier lists are incredibly subjective. So if you have any opinions of your own that you would like to share with us, let us know in the comment section below. And please hit that sub button because it helps us out a lot. If you end up liking the video, smash that like button. Let's get started. At the top of the list, alphabetically, A for absolute. A little disclaimer, this list is going up probably about halfway through the tournament so far. I'm sorry we didn't put it up sooner. Based on what I know, I think it'll be good in the team portion. Through transition though, I don't think it's going to be the greatest fresh ball. The fresh options, you always want the stronger bowling balls, the urethane balls, the ones that are going to even out your ball reaction to blend the flatness of the pattern. And I hear the team event kind of opens up pretty good. So absolute through transition. Here we go. Next ball is the DNA. And this is actually a ball that I'm thinking about bringing for the fresh if my urethane option's not the one. So DNA for the fresh, probably on the stronger side with the layouts. DNA it is for the fresh. We have the brand new duo, and that's going to be a low RG mid differential bowling ball. I think is also going to be very good for the transition. I'm trying to keep in mind how other people will be playing the lanes. So generally speaking, this is what I think of these bowling balls. Okay, so duo for the transition. Burn. I'm thinking electrifies. All three of them, they're going to be burn bowling balls. They're all cleaner options. I could definitely see the electrify go coming out a little sooner, maybe in the transition portion, maybe for the singles and doubles, maybe a little sooner out of the bag for the electrifies. But for the most part, you're going to be throwing these towards the end of the 3-game team event or the, games 5, 6 in singles. Okay, Eternity, the same balls, same type of balls are going to be falling into the same categories. This is a cleaner asymmetric pearl ball, kind of similar to the absolute, but not exactly the same. So transition ball for me here is Eternity. Exotic Gem, again, I'm gonna go in the transition category, another strong pearl asim ball. We like the strength of the asymmetric and the cover to still blend out the flatness of the pattern. Obviously the clean portion is the pearl. It's gonna help float it through the front a little bit more. So once you start getting out of your fresh balls, Exotic Gem, probably gonna be the deal. Okay, Fate. I'm gonna say Fate's gonna be closer to the burn. I'm just a fan of throwing the stronger asymmetric balls on these flatter patterns. They typically want us to start further right and then break them down moving left. So may want to keep that in mind. Don't want to start too far left. Don't want to get too greedy because then it just blows up the pair. Again, you have 10 people bowling on your pair for team event. And if you get 10 people playing in non-optimal parts of the lane, you're going to get really sloppy at the end. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Fate, burn ball. Gem, that one's going in the fresh. The Storm Umbrella, that's the strongest ball we have. So that's going in the fresh. I probably wouldn't drill it too strong because then you won't be able to throw it for as long. And that's kind of the deal that I might fall into with my DNA. But okay, we have the Hustle series. I'm not going to lie. I think the camo is going to be kind of a dark horse ball. You can kind of throw it, I think, either at any portion of this fresh transition burn. It is a solid, it's a weaker cover, it's a weaker core. I've seen these go down the lane, early in blocks. If you drill it a little stronger, make them more stable, go forward faster, it's definitely got to pop on the fresh, especially for the singles and the doubles. So I would keep that in mind. Definitely a dark horse ball. I'm going to say the same thing for the Hustle USA, but I'm not going to say the same thing for the Wine. I think this one's going to be a burn ball. This one's very clean. This one comes off the spot much harder than the other two. So I would save that for when you need your ball to get through the front. If you start flat tenning, it's probably a good indicator that your bowling ball is too strong. So ball down. Even if your ball is not hooking, ball's just losing energy. All right, now we're getting into the High Road series. I like me some High Road Pearl. Late in the block, when I can get left, hook it. Don't know if that's going to be your team or your pair. Subject to change always. High Road Pearl's always been good for me when I have to get left. I'm kind of hoping we don't have to get too far left. We'll see. High Road, the High Road and the High Road Pearl share the same core. Covers are technically the same. One's just a hybrid, the other is a pearl. The High Roads have always been pretty smooth for me. So I'm going to throw this one actually in the transition. The High Road's always been pretty good in a lot of different spots. Dale Ballard always says, lanes always come to a High Road. if you're on the fence about bringing one, I would just bring one. Moving along, we have the hyped. You know, this is just going to be a dark horse ball for me. If you guys know me and you've watched the channel for a while, you already know what this ball is to me and how I feel about it. So we're going to put it in the dark horse category. Hyped Pearl, however, I do like this ball. This one's pretty good. I think it'll be a burn ball as well. Kind of fits that hustle, high road kind of category in terms of strength. I'd say it fits right in between the high road and the hustle, actually. So I wouldn't bring too many of these bowling balls because, like I said before, you want to be playing further to the right. These bowling balls just make it harder to play to the right because they're going to get offline really quick when they see friction. And the key is to control the middle part of the lane, control the front of the lane. Don't play for that big back end motion because I promise you, you're probably going to leave a lot of splits. Okay, moving on, the hype solid. This is another tricky one that I'm actually going to put in the dark horse category for another reason. I think it's going to be in play across the entire board. Fresh, transition, burn, depends on how you lay it out. I can see it coming into play at any point in this tournament. So dark horse ball for me. Talk to your pro shop operator if you are considering drilling one for this event. Okay, Idle Cosmos. Smooth Pearl ball. That screams transition to me, leaning more towards the fresh side than the burn. So it would be, you know, if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step list, it would be like a 1.5. Infinite Physics, kind of the same for me. It's like a blend between Idle Cosmos in terms of smoothness and where it wants to hook, and then Eternity Exotic Gem. Infinite Physics goes somewhere kind of in between that. You know, it has that asim, wants to come off it a little harder. Okay, some more dark horse bowling balls coming up, in my opinion. I think the IQ is kind of a dark horse ball because I think it could go down the lane at any point during the event as well. It could go down on the fresh, the transition, the burn. It's a very unique bowling ball that can do a lot of different things, and it's really smooth. It could also be kind of whippy. It's an angular, so it kind of depends on the surface prep, the drilling. Very versatile bowling ball. It's a dark horse ball for me. IQ Ruby. I'm bringing one. I'm bringing it for later in the block. I think it's going to be fantastic. Not so much a dark horse ball because of the pearlized cover stock. It is going to get down the lane a little bit more than your original IQ Tour. I'm really confident in this one moving forward. I think I'm going to throw this one a lot this summer. Okay, moving on, we have the Night Road. The Night Road's going to be a burn ball, quite possibly transition. It's going to be that 2.5 tier range rather than just transition or just burn. I think it leans more towards the transition side rather than just being a pure burn ball because the cover stock is a little stronger. So you could get into Night Roads a little bit sooner, I would think, just because of the strength of the cover. But again, surface prep, layouts, all those things matter. Phase 2. This is another 1.5 ball. I can definitely see it going down the lanes on the fresh, but if you're talking to players like myself, Chris Vi, Mikey, probably not going to be throwing this first out of the bag. We're big urethane guys, so we're going to be throwing urethane more than likely on the fresh, especially in singles and doubles, considering how much it sounds like they hook. Phase 2 is probably going to be later in the block for us. Transition, possibly burn. Phase 5 is going to go there as well. I think transition has such a huge window to fit. I want to try to separate everything as much as possible when it comes to fresh and burn. Transition just gets really muddy. I honestly don't like the term transition because there's nothing defined about it. It's basically just when the lanes change, and that's it. And look at all these different bowling balls in the transition period. You could basically build an arsenal out of the balls in this tier. You just have to figure out when to throw what bowling ball. Pitch black, like I said, fresh. It's in there. This event, we are allowed to throw the fast pitch, so I can imagine Chris is gonna bring one. I'll probably bring a pitch black and a fast pitch. Don't know what Mikey's gonna do. He's probably just gonna bring some out there urethane ball that none of us have ever seen. Urethane, typically we're throwing on the fresh. If you can throw it the entire time and it looks good, good for you. Do it. But I wouldn't try to force it to work. You never want to try to force anything to work, honestly. Okay, here we go. Reality check. That's that niche ball coming back. You either throw it a lot or you don't throw it at all. And unfortunately, I'm in that spot where I just don't throw it very much. But I'm not knocking this ball. I think it is really good. Personally, I just don't throw it very much. Reality, fresh. Kind of a 1.5 ball, honestly, because I think this one likes to get off the spot a little harder than our other big asymmetric bowling balls. I'm probably going to bring one for the transition just because I'm, like I said, a big urethane guy, and the DNA I'm going to drill is probably going to be a really strong pin. Super stable. Going to be hard to hook it. Got some straight options. I got some options strength-wise to hook it. Got to be prepared. Revenant. This one's kind of a 2.5 ball, but I think I'm going to lean more towards the burn. I never really see the lanes get that chopped up, especially because I bowl on the PBA Tour and they get very chopped up there. This one's going to lean more towards the burn than the transition for me, but again, it's got, you know, pretty middle numbers, so you can really throw it at any time in that 2 to 3 transition burn range. Our STX3, this is another pretty strong bowling ball. It could come out of the bag on the fresh, but with what I've seen out of this bowling ball, it's going to be more of a transition ball for me. It's kind of like the reality check, but stronger in my opinion. I think the reality check's a little smoother. X3, reality check, exotic gem, eternity, infinite physics. I probably wouldn't bring too many of those types of bowling balls. 1, maybe 2. Don't bring a bunch of balls in the same range. It's not a smart thing to do when you go to bowl a tournament on patterns that you don't know. Bring a bag full of options that you are familiar with. Okay, now we have the Rubicon UC3. I'm gonna put this in the fresh category because it is technically kind of urethane, but I think it fits that 1.5 category again. I'm starting to think maybe we should have just made a 1.5 in a 2.5 category in between fresh and burn. All right, Supernova, fresh, same deal. DNA, gem, reality, same type of ball. Could be a 1.5 ball. That's how I'm seeing it. Okay, our first reactive, strong, symmetric bowling ball. I'm gonna throw the TNT in the fresh. Cover strong, very smooth ball. You watched the ball video. It didn't look very good, but I did bowl in a house shot. So this one I think's got a lot of potential. My financial investor, PJ Haggerty, he threw one with a really strong layout, super stable, 2-inch pin, had a lot of success. His team at the time of this recording is leading the team event in the open division. So I trust his opinion. I've known him for a long time and he's an excellent bowler. So shout out to PJ. Tropical Surge, Dark Horse. I don't know when you would throw this ball during this tournament, but if you are of the entry-level bowler, you're bowling this for the first time, you have one, I'm not gonna knock it. If you're a higher level bowler, I probably wouldn't bring one. But if you got an idea of when to throw it and when, then go for it. All right, we have the Wolverine Dark Moss. It's kind of like the 900 global version of the Revenant, so I'm gonna throw it in the burn category. If we were talking about anything other than the Open Championships, I would probably put it in the transition, but because of, typically how the lanes play, your weakest ball is a Wolverine Dark Moss. I don't blame you. Now we have Zen Soul. Ooh, we got all the Zen balls to cap it off. We have Zen Ball Soul. That's gonna be a transition ball. Hybrid cover stock. The most similar ball we have to the Phase 2. If you're looking for a good benchmark ball and you want something a little more off the spot, Zen Soul. We have Zen U. I'm gonna say that's a tough one because I don't like seeing this ball cross the lane a whole lot, but some people might. It's kind of a 1.5 ball, but I'm gonna put it in the fresh category just because it's labeled as a urethane ball. So typically urethane balls are gonna be first balls out of the bag. Zen Ball good, Zen Ball transition ball. Could be a 2 to 2.5 type ball, even a 3. 3 is the burn. I have no problems with ever seeing this ball down the lane. I think it's a good ball. I think it's very versatile. If you're thinking about bringing one, then ball good. And now the last bowling ball on our list, and you probably wondering, what is this must-bring bowling ball? There's only one bowling ball that I think needs to be in the bag every single tournament, and it's this one, the White Mix. I'm just kidding. It's not technically the White Mix, but it is the placeholder for all things spare. Doesn't matter if it's a White Mix or if it's a plastic ball or if it's your urethane ball or if it's, if you throw it straight. You have to have the thing that picks up the spares. In reality, it is you that needs to pick up the spares. It is how you attack your spares, but this is the most important thing in the bag. If you don't pick up spares, you're not going to win an eagle. That's it. Done. Conversation over. That is my Open Championships tier list for you. Let me know if you guys think otherwise in the comment section below. If you have already bowled the event, let me know what you had success with. I want to know. Help out your fellow competitors or not. You don't have to. But we're all just trying to grow as bowlers out here. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please consider subscribing. And if you liked the video, smash that like button so we know that we should make more of these. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.